Greetings, this is Sweet JP and welcome to my Emic and Warcaster Clan boss team for Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare. First I want to show you the champions I'm using, Emic Trunkheart being the most important piece with his skill, wrong one, A2, Mindquake, that reduces the cooldown of ally skills by 1 turn. He needs to be fully booked on his A2 and his A3 for this to work. I'm using Brimstone as well, just for that extra bit of damage. I didn't really use too much time building him. I gave him some perception and some speed sets to give him just that little bit extra, you know. My total stats are 246 speed. That's the only really important part. The next important part is a tiny bit of defense and as much HP as you can build on your Emic to deal as much damage as possible, together with crit rate and crit damage. You can see here with my Demon Lord area bonuses. Right. His masteries, they don't actually matter as long as you don't take things like Cycle of Magic to decrease the cooldown of a random skill, because that will just take the entire team out of sync and it'll be a big problem. I chose offense for Warcaster just to do that extra bit of damage, some chance for counter attacking. It doesn't really matter because my team will go down to 1 HP and he won't be able to counter attack anymore, as I need to lose 25% of my health, and that's not going to happen for the majority of the fight, right? The next one is Warcaster. Random artifacts. It doesn't really matter what he has on as long as he hits his 172 speed. A little bit of armor, defense, sorry, a little bit of health due to spirit affinity, which makes the entire team having to survive for 12 turns before the tune actually comes in due to the decreased speed. And we're gonna see that today because we have spirit affinity on my clan boss at the moment. 100% crit rate, 177% crit damage, very nice. Next is a block debuff, just to make it affinity friendly. We have Scathix, he's only level 50. I barely touched his masteries. I forgot to mention Warcaster needs his A3. Does he need this as well? Yeah, his A3 and A2 needs to be booked as well for the cooldown reduction. Masteries, I gave him, again, Warcaster. Chances for counterattack just a little bit. That's always nice. No need for a steadfast. We don't have a stun target. It doesn't matter who the boss tries to stun. We'll be absolutely immune to the stun. On for our block debuffs champion, I chose Scathix. He's level 50. I didn't even worry about his masteries because I actually hit the damage points I want. I could, of course, make him 6-star, get that Warcaster, get some more damage to help out my clan. But for now, I don't actually need it. Again, he needs to be booked on his A3. His A2 does not need to be booked if he is booked up. There needs to be some changes to the priority of his skills, right? But it's possible without booking this one up. However, A3 needs to be booked up. Artifacts, he has 2 speed sets. And his health, again, it's a bit high. A bit more defense, or a little less defense than Warcaster, but more health. 176 speed. Crazy high, right? It's fine. It's a 1-1 team. It doesn't need to be super fast. The only one who goes 4-3 is Emic Trunkheart. No damage, no crit rate, no crit damage. I would build it if I bothered, really. I'm just a bit lazy. No reason for accuracy or resistance, although I have a bit because of the area bonuses, right? Next up is the 2 DPS I chose. The always fabulous Frozen Banshee is one of them. I chose her simply because I had 6 pieces of retaliation available to me with decent stats. 6 pieces gives you 15 plus 15 plus 15. That's 45% chance to counterattack when hit, helping out with her A1 that does a ton of poison if her A2 is up on the boss. It very much helps if you have the cooldown reduction. For masteries, again, I have Warmaster. I have, what's it called, Curse of something. Master Hexer, right, to extend the debuff from time to time. She uses Lore of Steel, just fine, doesn't matter. The speed she's running, which is 185, I believe, yeah, 185, is right in the middle of the speeds the DPS needs to be, which is 180 to 185, 188. So Lore of Steel, speed sets and stuff like that, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter on Emic Trunkheart either. He just needs to have that 246 speed in this showcase, right? In the total stats, a little bit of health, a little bit of defense. Again, on Spirit Affinity, we need that extra damage mitigation to get into sync on turn 12, right? Absolutely no crit rate, a little bit of crit damage, a ton, way too much accuracy. It only needs to be like 230 if I remember right. Anything above is a bit of a waste, but I got it all anyways with the sets. I could change the banner, the accuracy banner. It's not the best, it's just what I had available to me. And the last one, the best DPS I have for Clan Boss, is Geomancer. He is an absolute chat when it comes to Clan Boss. He has a single speed set, and he runs at 185 as well. Speed, 185 speed. He's extremely low on both health and defense. You can see you only need a little bit. You don't need that much. I got 7,600 right plus on the defense and health, and that's enough. It just needs a little bit. You can't just ignore it completely, right? Full crit rate, full as much crit damage as I can get, just to get that little bit extra damage in. 283 accuracy, again about 50 accuracy too much. I could pour that into crit damage probably if I used the optimizer, so that's fine. That's the team, guys. So oh wait, we need the masteries again. Warmaster, Master Hexer, Law of Steel. No reset of cooldowns to make sure that his abilities go off when I want them to. I will show you the Deadwood Jedi setup I have. It'll be a bit strange because I've been super lucky with my Geomancer, and I don't want to waste books on his A1 and A2. I pulled 6 books on him, and they all hit the A3, which is the only thing we really care about, together with his passive that just absolutely destroys the clan boss when it attacks, right? I'll get into all this in just a moment. So let's check it out. So let's go into the clan boss, Demon Lord. I have a key. That's very nice. Oh, we almost killed it as well. That's very nice. As I said, it's Spirit Affinity. So let's go in. Let's make sure we have the team set up. We do. I use Warcaster in the lead due to his aura. Can't remember his crit rate or crit damage. As you can see, it's crit rate 23% extra. So it helps a bit for those champions that doesn't have full crit damage. Crit rate. So for the team setup, as I said, Warcaster in the lead. On Nightmare, you want his fully booked A2 as priority 1, fully booked A3 as priority 2. I use Emic, fully booked A2 as a starter and priority 2, and fully booked A3 as priority 1. It's very simple. It's full automatic, except for Geomancer if you want absolute min-max damage. So he starts off with an A1, and this is where you're gonna see the only point in this video where you can't go full auto, because you need 2 A1s if you haven't booked his A2, which I haven't. If I had booked his A2, I could make it full auto. I would simply remove this completely like this. And he would start with this A2, and it would sync up and use his A3 on the first AoE, just before the first AoE. But I can't do that. I need to do 2 more A2s before it syncs up. Frozen Banshee, you actually don't need to do anything about it. She doesn't use her A2. I just remove it to make sure I remember that I don't want to use it if I change something about my clan boss team. Scathix, he starts with his A1, and he uses priority A2 and priority 2 on his A3. Remember, again, my Scathix doesn't have the cooldown, so it might change. I have actually no idea how it changes if it's booked, but we'll look at it. Sure, why not? So this just works. So let's see what happens when I fight the boss. Remember, you can start on auto. You just need to remember that Geomancer needs to use his A1 twice. So let's start with Emic, Geomancer. Then we can go auto until it's Geomancer's turn again. So let's just do that. Emic's turn now. There we go. And then it's Geomancer A1. And then it's full auto. So I'll just let this run. Notice, actually, before we just let it run, you need to know that there's the decreased speed. And it looks very suspicious when the entire team actually goes out of sync until turn 12. And it looks scary. It looks very scary, but it isn't. For some reason, it just works. It just goes into tune on turn 12, and it never runs out of tune. So let's watch this fight. Alright, we're nearing the end. Turn 48, 48 million damage, aka 1 million damage per turn. This only happens because of the affinity and the extra attacks he does every AoE, because of a Geomancer. If you don't have a Geomancer, you can use any other DPS as long as you build him strong enough, together with a different DPS than Frozen Banshee if you want that. I just chose these two because they work so well. 16.7 million damage on Frozen Banshee, 22.7 million on Geomancer. And look at Emic, he does quite a lot of damage as well. I did build him for damage, so that makes sense. 51.5 million damage for a 1-1 speed-tuned Nightmare team. That's brilliant. Usually I see speed tunes of the 1-1 fashion do about 40 million, 42 million, and this team does as well on Void Affinity, right? But as soon as it's any other affinity, it does like 50 million damage, 48 to 52 million damage. Amazing results. So let's go look at the... Yeah, let's use another one. Let's go look at the Ultra Nightmare team composition. It's the same composition, however, it's a different setup. Here we go. Starting with Warcaster in the lead again. A1 as a starter, A3 as the first prio, A2 as the second prio. Emic Trunkheart, he removed the starter attack on A2 and simply goes A1 straight away, the Unkillable, and then A2 as a second prio. Geomancer, again, he swapped again. He rewound A2 as the first prio, and A3 as a second prio and as a starter. Again, remember, this is because I have not booked my A2, so be aware of that when you try to make the team, right? Frozen Banshee, exactly the same as the other one, she just does her thing. Skethix, A1, starter, A3, first prio, A2, second prio, and again, I haven't booked her A2, or his, I don't even know. It looks like him. I didn't book his A2, so be aware of that again when you use Skethix for your block debuffs, right? You can use anybody else. You can use a Sentinel, a Sepulcher, you can use a Maneater. You can actually use Maneater to remove Warcaster and the block debuffs and run 3 DPS, which would be absolutely insane. That is not what I do because I don't have a Maneater. Sad noises, right? So let's go. Let's watch. This is a full auto. I don't need to do anything. Only the double A1 on Geomancer is on Nightmare, sadly, but rest is full auto. Completely unkillable, completely affinity friendly. And I think we'll look at some Deadwood Jedi build up while this game runs in the background. And there we go. 50 turns, 39 million damage, 4 million above what's actually needed for a 2-key Ultra Nightmare team. Sometimes it actually does way above 40 million damage, 42, 43 million. I believe at some point Geomancer's A3 must have been resisted. And there's always that, at most 3% chance to be resisted. And it probably happened here, but that's just how it is. So let's see, 20 million on Geomancer, 10 million on Frozen Banshee. That's actually extremely low. Why did that happen? That should be way higher. Did she get resisted that much? It could have been something to do with retaliation set, probably not actually triggering as much as I wanted it to. And a fine 6 million from Emic, more than enough to key the Ultra Nightmare. Very nice. That being said, we're done. Thanks for watching. Let's see what I get for my daily lock-in. A blue shard. Let's just open it. Let's see what we get. It's a crabby blue. Berserker. As Hell Hades would say, straight in the trash, right? Thanks for watching. You've been a great audience. Leave a like, a subscribe, and a huge shout out to Raid with Dave, who made me create this video for him and for my viewers as well. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching.